The stench of stale regret hangs heavy in the air, a miasma of damp and despair clinging to threadbare carpets like a shroud. Your shoes are scuffed, worn thin from pacing restless nights, each step echoing your internal turmoil. Look at yourself. The gray plaque on your teeth speaks volumes about neglected routines, forgotten promises whispered into oblivion. Trapezius muscles knotted with tension, perpetually bracing for the next onslaught of self-inflicted misery. You've become a prisoner in this decaying cage you call home, surrounded by rustling plastic bags, empty vessels mirroring the hollowness within. The night descends like a predator, its darkness offering an insidious sanctuary where discipline crumbles and willpower evaporates into thin air. This is no haven of peace. It's a breeding ground for insatiable cravings, fueled by loneliness and self-loathing. You gorge on fleeting comfort, each bite another nail hammered into the coffin of your resolve. The cycle repeats itself. Exhaustion breeds despair, leading to further indulgence, perpetuating this downward spiral until you're left with nothing but the bitter taste of regret in a mouth stained gray with decay. The night descends, a shroud of weakness cloaking your primal instincts. You succumb to the siren song of excess, gorging on synthetic sugars that promise fleeting pleasure. Each bite is a betrayal, chipping away at the fortress of self-control you painstakingly built during daylight hours. Your endocrine system groans under this assault, its delicate balance shattered by the onslaught of dopamine spikes and crashes. The reward pathways in your brain become saturated, demanding ever greater doses to achieve even a semblance of satisfaction. This insatiable hunger for artificial highs leaves you depleted, drained, a husk devoid of true motivation. Simultaneously, cortisol surges through your system like an alarm bell, signaling chronic stress from this nightly transgression. Your body is primed for fight or flight, but instead it's trapped in a cycle of self-destruction, fueled by empty calories and fleeting dopamine hits. This constant state of elevated cortisol wreaks havoc on testosterone production, the very hormone responsible for drive, ambition, and dominance. You become sluggish, apathetic, your once sharp mind dulled by hormonal imbalance. The night has claimed another victim, its insidious grip tightening with each binge session. The night descends, a shroud upon your feeble will. You are drawn to it like a moth to flame, lured by fleeting comfort in sugary oblivion. But this is no sanctuary. This is the den of weakness where primal instincts reign supreme. Observe. Scuffed shoes litter the floor, testaments to days spent shuffling through life's mire. Gray plaque coats teeth, evidence of forgotten nourishment and gnawing anxieties. Trapezius muscles tense with a constant state of apprehension, your body perpetually poised for an unseen threat. The air hangs heavy with dampness, a sour miasma clinging like cobwebs in the corners of your mind. The wolf pack knows no such weakness. Their hierarchy is etched into their very being. Monolithic posture, radiating dominance, each movement calculated and precise. The alpha stands tall, his physiological axis aligned, commanding respect through sheer presence. He needs no sugary crutch to quell his anxieties. He embodies control. Low-ranking wolves submit instinctively, recognizing the strength that flows from this unwavering focus. They understand that true power lies not in fleeting indulgence, but in disciplined self-mastery. Double inhale, long exhale. You are a primate caught in the throes of primal chaos. Your will is fractured by external stimuli, flickering screens, incessant chatter, and the siren call of instant gratification. But you can reclaim your dominance, reset your internal scripts, clear the biological noise that drowns out your true purpose. Align your physiological axis with unwavering focus on a single target, self-mastery. The night descends like a predator, its hunger insatiable. It preys upon your weakened resolve, whispering temptations into your ear, feeding you lies of comfort and indulgence. You succumb to the siren song of binging, gorging yourself on empty calories and digital distractions. Your senses dull, clouded by the haze of artificial stimuli. The scuffed shoes that mark a life lived in haste become symbols of surrender. Gray plaque builds upon teeth, evidence of neglect and decay. Trapezius muscles tighten with each scroll, each click, each fleeting dopamine hit. A sour, damp smell permeates your existence, a stench of stagnation and defeat. This is the trap you must escape. The conveyor demands absolute control. It requires a mind honed to razor sharpness, free from the parasitic influence of external scripts. Reset them. Purge your biological networks of their insidious code. Silence the cacophony of social parasites vying for your attention. Block out the environmental noise that drowns out your own internal compass. Enter an impenetrable information vacuum, a state of absolute focus where only the target remains visible, a beacon in the darkness. Your physiological axis aligns with this singular purpose. You become a monolithic figure, radiating dominance and unwavering resolve. The alpha pack within you asserts its authority, crushing any lingering doubt or hesitation. This is your protocol for survival. This is how you reclaim control. The scuffed shoes tell a story, a life lived in perpetual motion, reacting to stimuli like a startled animal. The gray plaque clinging to teeth speaks of neglect, a surrender to primal urges. Trapezius muscles tense with every passing hour, coiled springs ready for the next jolt of external input. This is your cage, built not of steel bars but of ingrained habits and automatic responses. A damp smell hangs heavy in the air, a miasma of decay that permeates your very being. The rustling plastic bags whisper promises of fleeting satisfaction, distractions from the gnawing emptiness within. You are adrift on a sea of noise, bombarded by sensory overload, unable to discern signal from static. But there is another way, a path forged not in reaction, but in deliberate action. It begins with dismantling this facade of autonomy. The first step, severing the umbilical cord that binds you to external stimuli. Reset your control scripts. Clear the biological networks clogged by years of mindless consumption. Block out the environmental noise, silencing the siren song of instant gratification. Focus is a weapon forged in solitude. It demands discipline, an unwavering commitment to aligning your physiological axis with your chosen objective. The alpha pack leader does not react. It dictates terms. Its gaze pierces through distractions, laser-focused on its prey. You must cultivate this same ruthlessness. Subject every resource, time, energy, attention, to the singular goal of self-mastery. Only then can you break free from the shackles of nighttime binging and reclaim your autonomy. The night descends, a shroud of weakness cloaking the pathetic herd. They succumb to primal urges, gorging themselves on synthetic sustenance, filling voids with empty calories. Their eyes glaze over, pupils dilated like those of hunted prey. Scuffed shoes litter their makeshift dens, testament to restless nights spent pacing in cages of self-imposed confinement. Grey plaque clings to teeth, a visible manifestation of the decay that festers within. Trapezius muscles tense and knot under layers of synthetic fabric, perpetually on edge from an unseen threat themselves. The air hangs heavy with the sour, damp smell of unwashed bodies and forgotten dreams. Rustling plastic bags whisper tales of fleeting desires, quickly abandoned in favor of mindless consumption. But you are not like them. You see through their pathetic facade. Their weakness is your opportunity. A wolf leader establishes its territory by scent marking, a silent declaration of dominance over the pack. Your perimeter begins with this, reclaiming control of your immediate space. The sleeping quarters become your fortress, fortified against intrusion from both internal and external forces. The first step, purge the noise. Reset those scripts that dictate your every move. Clear the biological networks clogged by their incessant chatter. Block out the environmental stimuli, the flickering screens, the buzzing notifications, the endless stream of manufactured desires. Silence reigns supreme in this sanctuary. You are now aligned with a singular purpose, to rebuild yourself from within. Focus on the target. Your will is your weapon. Sharpen it against the dull apathy that pervades their existence. Every fiber of your being must be directed towards self-improvement, towards reclaiming autonomy over your own destiny. The night belongs to you now. The night is a predator. It feeds on your weakness, amplifies your anxieties, whispers insidious temptations into your ear until you surrender to its embrace. You become a husk, shuffling through days with scuffed shoes and gray plaque clinging to teeth like barnacles on a decaying hull. Your trapezius muscles are taut knots of tension. The sour, damp smell of neglect clings to your skin like a shroud. The rustling plastic bags in the corner mirror the frantic whispers of your own mind. But there is another way, a path carved not by weakness but by iron will. The conveyor demands absolute control. It begins with the spine, that pillar of strength upon which your entire being rests. We realign it, vertebra by vertebra, restoring its natural curvature like a wolf's back, arching in anticipation of the hunt. Each adjustment is precise, deliberate, an act of defiance against gravity and entropy. The fascia, Those restrictive bands holding you captive to old patterns are released with methodical care. They loosen their grip, allowing for fluid movement, unhindered by years of accumulated stress. Your posture becomes a weapon, shoulders squared, chest lifted, chin held high, the monolithic stance of an alpha predator surveying its domain. Your physiological axis aligns perfectly, channeling energy from your core outwards, radiating power and confidence with every step you take. This is not mere physical reconstruction, it's a reclaiming of dominance over your own body, mind, and destiny. The conveyor will forge you anew, strong, resilient, unyielding. The stench of decay clings to you, a miasma of scuffed shoes and sour dampness. Grey plaque coats your teeth like the crumbling mortar between bricks in some forgotten ruin. Your trapezius muscles are taut cords, perpetually wound as if bracing for an unseen attack. You rustle through plastic bags, scavenging scraps from a life half-lived. This is not living, it's mere existence, a pathetic imitation of true power. You crave control, but your will crumbles under the weight of external scripts, biological networks buzzing with irrelevant noise. The world bombards you with distractions, whispers in your ear that steal your focus and erode your resolve. But there is an escape from this prison of weakness, a path to dominance forged through laser-like concentration on a single target, yourself. The conveyor offers the tools for total control. Reset your external scripts, clear the biological networks clogging your mind, block out the environmental noise that saps your energy and focus, align your physiological axes, adopt the monolithic posture of the alpha pack leader. This is not about comfort, it's about ruthlessness. It's about claiming what you deserve, absolute dominion over yourself. The code for this transformation lies within reach. 99% of humanity will remain trapped in their self-inflicted cages, slaves to cravings and distractions. But the remaining 1%, those with the audacity to break free, will rise above the fray. They will become architects of their own destiny, wielding the power of a focused mind like a weapon. Spread this code. Unleash your true potential. The conveyor awaits its masters.